The mix-up. Cole? I screamed out of my wits, staring at the picture of the man in front of me. Daniel? Cole replied confusedly with a text. He was as shocked as I was. We could just not believe our eyes that we were matched on Tinder. Oh my gosh! 30 minutes earlier. I had just signed up on Tinder to get back in the love game. I had been out of the game for a long time because I thought I had found the one and even married him. It was going great until he broke my heart into shards. He cheated on me. I was so heartbroken and angry that I had to get a divorce as I could not stand looking at him. The love I had for him vanished into thin air. It had been a year since our divorce. After a year of crying and brooding, I felt I was in a good place and all ready to get back in the love game to find another person. I had the blind dating feature turned on, and I was matched with a person that I could not see, but from our conversations, I was already eager to meet him. For the past 30 minutes, I had been giggling while chatting with him on my phone. What is your favorite series? He asked. This will determine if I want to see you. Really? I replied with a question. No, I'm kidding, he said. But I would like to hear. Well, I don't watch much, but I think it is Breaking Bad, I responded. Wow, that's my favorite too, he said. You must be one of the top 5 coolest people I've ever met. But we have never met. Yeah, but this is the first step, I guess, he replied. I guess too. Neither of us wanted to propose the question of when we wanted to have our first date. I didn't know his reason, but my reason was because I was shy and I did not want to seem desperate. But I really wanted him to ask the question. So, he said. So what? I asked. My heart was leaping already. He wants to ask the question, I thought. So, when are we going to see? He asked. Finally! What took you so long? I said to myself. When do you think is convenient? I asked. I had a very broad smile on my face at that moment. I think we would have to reveal our profiles first before going ahead with it. Oh, that's true, he said. I am nervous though. Are you? I asked. Not at all. Why are you nervous? Scared that I would be ugly? He asked. No, I said. I'm just kidding. But you might be disappointed by what you see, he replied. I had a strange feeling that I would not be disappointed by what I see, I said. LOL, I have a similar feeling that I would be surprised by what I see. In a good way or bad way? My heart leaned towards a good way, he replied. Maybe, I said, then sighed. I was nervous because it would be either two things when we revealed our profiles. Either we would be disappointed in each other or be happy to see each other. The conversations had been great, and it was going to be painful if the match was not going to work. Are you ready? He asked. Yeah, I guess, I replied. My heart was beating fast. Want us to do a countdown? He asked. Or should we just get it over with like taking a shot of liquor? I think I would like to take the shot, I said, and then smiled nervously. Okay, he said. I breathed a sigh to release the nervousness. Then I clicked to reveal profile button. Suddenly, just as I revealed the profile, he revealed his, and I saw the most shocking thing that had happened to me in a while. Cole? I muttered, and my mouth remained agape. Cole Richards. I knew him because he was my divorce lawyer. What the hell? I was matched with my divorce lawyer. My brain was scrambled, and all I could do was stare at the phone. So I have been talking to my lawyer all this while, I asked myself. I had to check again to see if it was him or not. It was still him. I was staring at the photo of him with his piercing blue eyes and a broad smile while his profile confirmed it was truly him. Daniel? He typed after some minutes. He was most definitely as shocked as I was. My hands were frozen as I could not type back. Eventually, my fingers regained, but I could still not reply to him. All I could do was throw my phone across the couch, wondering whether what I had seen was a dream. For minutes, I could not go back to my phone. I was going back and forth. The awkwardness of the situation was causing me to be restless. I did not know what to do. Gradually, the awkwardness was wearing off, and I was beginning to think probably I was overreacting. We're not teenagers. Either we cancel it or we go ahead. I was not sure I wanted to go ahead with it, but I enjoyed my conversations with him when we were anonymous, and I had already made up my mind at some point that if he told us to meet, I was going to tell him yes. That was before the shocking reveal. I got a message notification from him that said simply, Hi. I stared helplessly at this message. This is awkward, LOL. I was considering whether to ignore him, but I did not want to offend him, so I typed my reply. I guess so, I said. I still can't believe it is you. Me too, he replied. So what? We were back to it again. So what happens after this, he asked. Are we still doing this? I really do not know what to say, I replied. Isn't this awkward for you? It was, but I guess love stories happen in the craziest way. Love? I do not know about that, at least not yet, I replied. How about we do this date and see where this ship takes us? What do you think? He asked. I stared at the message, unsure of what reply to give. Why not just give it a shot, Dan? I said to myself. It is not going to be bad. All right, let's do this, I said. Okay, what day is convenient for you? He asked. I don't know. What day is convenient for you? I don't know too, he said. Should we meet Friday night? How about Friday night next week? I asked. I guess, yeah, he replied. Okay, cool. We'll see then. Yeah. The eagerness to see each other was not there anymore. Before the profile reveal, if he had told us to meet that Friday week, I would have agreed, but after the reveal, I just had to move it further by a week to prepare how to meet him. 2 weeks later, Cole and I agreed to meet at a bar at 7 p.m., some hours before the time I was having the dilemma of what dress to wear. Whether to wear something casual or to dress in corporate as Cole was going to be coming straight from work. I was practicing several speeches in front of my mirror on how I was going to have a conversation with Cole. Every one of the speeches I was able to come up with was weird and awkward. I was so sure that after some minutes our voices were going to vanish into our awkward silence. I could not see our date ending well. I was getting so nervous about the date that my stomach began to rumble. I did not want to go for the date, and at the same time, I did not want to cancel the date abruptly because of nervousness. As a result, an idea came to me. It was going to be a lie. Hi, I texted him. Looks like I'm gonna be really late. Hey, what's going on? He asked. I'm stuck in traffic here, like a real gridlock, I said. Oh, bummer, he said. I just got to the venue. I'm just about to enter the car park. Oh, I can't tell what the cause of the traffic jam is here, but I can see that the cause is very far from me, I said. Cars aren't moving, he asked. Nope. Somehow we were able to part ways for an ambulance to drive by, I said. Oh, wow. Don't worry, I'll be there soon. No problem. If you can't make it, we can reschedule, or what do you think? He asked. I could not accept his proposal. I needed to show I was genuine first. Nah, I'm gonna make it. Just give me some minutes more and I'll be there. I was getting more guilty as I lied. This is not good, Dan. Okay, I'll be waiting, he said. After about 30 minutes, I texted him again and told him, it seems we're gonna have to reschedule. Oh, wow. You're still stuck? He asked. We have only moved a few inches, I replied. I am so sorry this is happening. No, it's fine. It was out of your hands. Should we meet next Friday? Same time, same venue? Yeah, but I think we should change venues so I don't take this road again, I said. Oh, okay. Let's discuss this later. There's a bar fight, he said. Bye. All right, bye. I sighed as soon as I replied. That was how I escaped that awkward situation, but I cannot do such the second time. It was going to be unfair to do so. I could not escape that date. The following week, we agreed to meet at a restaurant not far from my home. There was no way I could escape that if I was going to decide last minute that I needed to take a rain check. I found what to wear some minutes before the agreed time and practiced my speech. I then drove down to the restaurant with my heart beating. I could see from the window that Cole was already inside waiting for me at the table he got for us. He was looking about and sipping water, hoping I would appear at any moment. I couldn't stop my heart from beating. I finally found the courage to walk in. As soon as I walked in, he sighted me and immediately smiled. He stood as I got to the table. I did not know when I stretched my hand to him for a handshake. He looked confused, wondering why I was offering a handshake the way I did when we met for my divorce. I was embarrassed and wanted to withdraw my hand, but he saved me by shaking me. This is awkward, he said with a light chuckle, and I replied with a wry smile. How was your day? Oh, it was good. How was yours? I asked. Good. Thank goodness you were not stuck in traffic today, he said with a chuckle. I felt guilty. I am so sorry about the other day. It is fine. You couldn't have done anything, he said. Then we went silent. Either there was nothing more to say or we forgot the speeches we rehearsed. How about we dig into the menu? What would you like to have? He asked. Nothing fancy. I will go with whatever you choose. You're sure? Yeah. Okay. Waiter, he called, and a waiter came. He told him our order, and the waiter left. For the minutes that the waiter went to get our food, we tried to attempt conversations, but they were short and awkward until our food was brought to us. We retreated into our silence, and the only things breaking the silence were our forks and knives. It was just like we just came to eat. We were also avoiding each other's gazes, and when we did, we were always giving each other an awkward smile. I just wanted to go home at that point. "Enjoying your food?" he asked for the umpteenth time. "Yeah, you?" "It's really good." "Good choice, though," I said. "Thanks," he said, and smiled. It was all fake smiles and awkward conversations throughout till we could not go further because we had finished our food. It is getting late," I said, checking my watch. "I need to sleep early for work tomorrow. You remember I am a tech consultant, right?" "Oh, yeah, that's true. I just remembered I've got a case early tomorrow morning at court." "Oh, we better get going," I said with a nervous chuckle. We lied to each other that we had a great night and bade ourselves goodbye, and then we went on our ways. What a night it was. A week later. Since that day, Cole and I did not speak with each other. It was like that was the end of it for us. I did not bother going to Tinder to look for another date. I probably did not want another awkward date. No matter how hard I tried, the scene of that night kept coming to my mind. It got to a point where I was always getting tempted to text him. I just wish the date turned out differently because he was actually cute. I just never noticed because he was my lawyer. "Hi," I texted him. I could not take it anymore. "Hi, funny stuff. I was just about to text you," he said. He must have been in the same situation as I was. "Really?" "Yeah, so what's good?" "Nothing much, so I was thinking we should redo this," I said. "Redo what?" "The date. We can't keep lying to ourselves that the date was nice. It was awkward," I said. "Awful, too, LOL, he replied. "Yeah." "All right, I guess we could do it again," he said. "Next Friday?" "Yeah, Friday is cool. Same restaurant?" I asked. "Yeah, see ya." The next week. "So, here we are again," Cole said with a smile. "Yeah," I smiled. In order not to make the conversations awkward, I made some small chips of paper with conversation starters written on them. So, I bent my head to check one, but they all seemed like something I could not ask at that time. "What are you doing?" Cole asked. I raised my head immediately when I heard him. "Huh?" "Your head has been down for some minutes now," he noticed. "Oh, I wrote these conversation starters in these small chips of paper so our date would not be awkward again." "This is stupid," I said as I took them all and wrapped them into a ball preparing to throw them away. "No, you're not stupid. I think it is really romantic," he said. "Don't throw them away. I want you to ask them." "You sure?" "Yeah, hit me," he said and smiled. I smiled too. I then unwrapped and picked one. "Okay, what's a fun fact about you that most people don't know?" I asked. I love collecting rare vinyl records, and I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes," he said. "Oh, nerd alert," I said, and he laughed. "Ask another one," he said. "What's a quirky personal fact about you?" I asked. "The pop of balloons and fireworks scare me," he said. "As for me, it is a flying cockroach," I said. "Not that my house is dirty or something, I have seen one, and it was really crazy. I was surprised that the little vermin flies," he said, and I laughed. "I was a teenager when I saw one. You need to see the way I was screaming my lungs out," I said. "I would love to see that." "Oh, my brother had a video of me screaming." "Really?" "Yeah, he was laughing and recording until the little guy landed on him, and then the camera flew from his grips and got broken," I said as we began to laugh. A waiter had come to tell us that we were disturbing the peace of the restaurant. The conversations were so great that we forgot the food in front of us and forgot the time. It was one of the best nights that I had in a long time. "I'm really glad we did this again," he said as he walked to our cars. "Me too. I must tell you that I haven't laughed this way since," I said and went mute. "Yeah, I understand. I'm glad I brought back your sense of humor," he said. "Thank you," I said. "For real." "You're welcome. I want to do this again, Dan. How about you?" "Yeah, of course," I said. "Good," he said. Then we stared at each other, lingering for a few moments until he said, "Have a great night, Dan." "You too, Cole," I said. Then we went on our ways. On my way home, there was a smile on my face all through. I had thought I would never be happy, but I was wrong. The following week. The next date we had was better than the last, and I did not need to bring chips of conversation starters. We just flowed naturally, and it was great. The cherry on top of the cake was when Cole asked me if he could kiss me. "Or is it too early to ask?" he asked. I said nothing, but went close to him and planted a kiss on his lips. He made the kiss longer when he held my face and applied pressure. We didn't stop until a car flashed its headlights at us. "Get a room," the driver had yelled at us before driving away. We laughed about it and drew closer for another kiss. We had one more date before we made it official. Our relationship was the only thing going great in my life. Cole was a really nice boyfriend and was better than my ex-lover in every way that I began to think he was too good for me. He was a great cook, kind, supportive, and romantic. My ex-lover Jayden had left an incredible scar in my heart that I was always scared whenever I was not with Cole, having intrusive thoughts that he might be cheating on me or something. Sometimes I had to pay him some surprise visits at work. He thought it was romantic, but I was actually insecure. Cole was too good. There was this day when I just could not take my eyes off him while we were eating dinner. He finally caught me and asked, "Why are you staring at me like that?" "I'm just appreciating art," I said. He then chuckled. "Oh, don't flatter me," he said. "I'm not." "Oh, thank you, love," he said and smiled. I remember Jayden said these exact same words when we were together. "Your words," I said. "Oh," he said and dropped his cutlery. I could see he was tired of me talking to him about Jayden. "Yeah. Then he confessed he was cheating on me," I said. "I'm not Jayden, Dan," Cole said angrily. "I'm not gonna cheat on you." "I know. I'm sorry," I said. "I just really loved him and he hurt me with it. I'm glad I'm with you now." "Daniel," he said, "are you gonna ever love me the same way you loved him?" he asked. I knew he asked because he always told me he loved me, and I never told him the same. All I could do when he asked that question was stare and remain mute. I did not know how to answer the question. I really liked Cole at that time, but I didn't want it to get past that, so I would not be caught unawares in case he broke my heart. When he saw I couldn't answer his question, he found his own answer and left the dinner table angry. We settled it, but we had a couple of similar situations like that. 2 months later. One day, I went to use the restroom at a gas station. As I washed my hands, I raised my head to see someone behind me in the mirror. The moment I saw him, I immediately recognized who he was. "Jayden?" I muttered. "Daniel?" he exclaimed. He looked like he was happy to see me. "Is this you?" "Apparently," I said with a smile. "You look chubby," he said. "Really?" "Yeah, it fits you though," he said. "Thank you," I said. "So, we meet in a public restroom? What a coincidence." "I know, right? Crazy," he said and laughed. "How have you been?" "Good," I said. "Was going through a rough patch, but recently it has been great." "I'm happy for you," he said. "Thanks. How about you?" I asked. "Oh, samesies. My life has been great too. Recently, Evan just proposed to me," he said. "Evan?" I asked, taken aback. Evan was the one whom he cheated on me with. "You are with him?" "Yeah." "Oh, it was more than a fling," I asked, but he couldn't answer. The guilt was eating him up. I then chuckled and then went silent. "Why, Jay?" "Why what?" "Why did you hurt me? What does he have that I didn't have? Does he love better than I did?" I asked angrily. "Daniel, look, I'm sorry." "No, you are not. No amount of your fake apologies could erase the pain, Jay," I said with tears. "You broke my heart into shards and left me to pick the pieces by myself. Now someone is in my life trying to glue the pieces together, but it can never be the same again, Jay. I hate you, Jay. I hate you. I want to punch your face so hard right now," I said to him as I watched him slowly walk out of the restroom with his back. "Yeah, walk out like you walked out of my life, you jerk." "I'm sorry, Dan," he said. "Get out," I yelled at him, and he went away. I was now left alone in the restroom, crying like I had all those times before I met Cole. When I got home that day, I told Cole about how I met Jayden in the restroom. I told him how I told him my mind. "I know he hurt you, but how long are you going to do this?" Cole asked. "Do what?" "How long are you going to hold on to him in your heart and mind? You need to let him out," he said. "Well, Cole, it's not as easy as you put it," I said to him. "If only you would let me in, you would see how easy I would make it," he said. "You're speaking in parables, honey," I said and laughed. He said nothing after that. 2 weeks later. "Hey, honey, I'll be coming home late. Gotta finish up something," Cole said in a text. "All right then, we'll stay awake though." "LOL, all right, love you," he replied. He was always saying he loved me and always made me feel guilty that I could not say the same. It was really painful that I had to leave the text read. By the time Cole came home, he wore a long face and ignored me when I tried to kiss him. It was unlike him. Even when he had long days at work, he always kissed me, but that day was different. "Cole?" I called as he walked past me. "What?" "What's going on?" I asked. "You tell me, Dan," he said. "Tell you what?" "Tell me why you left my message read without replying," he said. "Come on, Cole," I said. Is that the reason for the attitude? You have always avoided this, Dan. You are not escaping this today, he said. Do you love me? What kind of a question are you asking, Cole? Do you love me, Daniel? He asked again angrily. Cole, do you? I want to know today if you do. I want to know if this relationship is worth it, he said. Have you seen someone new? I asked. Oh, you now make it about yourself, Cole asked angrily. How can you do that to me, Daniel? It started with attitudes when Jayden was with me, I said. Stop it. Stop this nonsense, Daniel. I don't want to hear about Jayden ever again. His name is inscribed on your tongue. He is all you ever talk about. Because he hurt me. I know he hurt you, but you are hurting me too. I don't know if you could ever love me like you loved him. It is like there's nothing I can do to fill up that void no matter what. That's why I need to know if I am not just barking up the wrong tree. So I ask, do you love me, Daniel? Oh, just answer the question for my sanity's sake, he said. There was an awkward silence for some minutes until I spoke. Cole, I think it is quite too early to tell, I said. As soon as I said those words, I regretted them. I could see the hurt in his eyes. He just chuckled and walked away from me. Cole! Good night, Daniel, he said, and went to the room. I began to wish I could turn back the hands of time and stop myself from saying those words. I woke up the next morning and found Cole's side of the bed empty. His side was laid too, and I didn't understand why he did that after sleeping beside me that night. It caused me to have a strange feeling. I went to check the closet to confirm what was in my mind. His things were gone, and suddenly I understood that his laid side of the bed was a subtle letter to me that he was gone. Oh no. I tried to call him and text him, but he did not respond. I called so many times, but he neither picked up my call nor texted back. I needed to see him. Cole, please pick up your phone, I said in a voicemail to him as I drove to go check him at work. I kept calling and texting, yet no response. I got to the courthouse, and I was told he was in the courtroom already. I sat in the hallway waiting for him to come out, thinking of what I could say to get him back. I just did not want to lose him. An hour later, I stopped him as soon as I saw him come out of the courtroom. His face changed when he saw me. He wanted to walk away, but I stopped him. Cole, please hear me out. I am sorry for what I said. I was stupid and wasn't thinking straight, I said to him. I'm sorry. Let's take this outside. You're embarrassing me, he said. Okay, let's go, I said, and followed him out. As soon as we got out, he said, What do you want? He asked. I saw you had packed your things and I got your message, I said. I'm sorry for what I said, Cole. Please come back. I could not fill that void in your heart, Dan. There is no need. The void is too big for me to fill, he said. I didn't mean what I said last night, Cole. Please forgive me, I said. Look, Daniel, it is of no use, he said. Please, Cole, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Please come back. How can I make this right? I don't want to lose you, I said. You know what you need to do to make it right, he replied. But I can't tell you that when I actually don't, I said. I really like you, but I don't love you yet. Then am I stupid for loving you, Daniel? He asked. You're not. You're a better human than most for loving a train wreck like me, I replied. I think love should be reciprocal, Dan. We don't seem to have that. I'm sorry, Cole. Please, I can't lose you. Just give me some more time, I said. More time for what? For your love to germinate? What if my love for you had vanished by that time? Then we're back to square one, he asked. What you need right now is healing, Daniel. I'm healing already. It takes time. Doing it on your own might probably not work. You need to see a therapist. If you are willing, I can accompany you on your journey to wholesome healing. You will get that by visiting a therapist. I don't need therapy. My life is not that bad, I said. You need, Daniel. I don't. I'm fine. Then I can't help you, Daniel. I can't be your therapist, he said. What does that mean? It is what it means. It is the only way it can work for us. If we don't get back together, you might also drive the next person away if you don't heal, he said. Goodbye, Daniel. Cole, I muttered. He then walked away and I watched helplessly. The next 2 days. I had been thinking about what Cole had said for days. The house felt different and empty without Cole. The kitchen felt it, as the food I ate tasted bland in my mouth while my body felt the absence of his touch. I missed him. I began asking why I could not just let Jayden go. Cole was right. I needed healing. How could I find it hard to love such an amazing person like Cole because of a jerk like Jayden? He hurt you, but you gotta let him go. He has moved on, but you still live in his past. Let him go, I said to myself. Cole, I texted. I need therapy. Some minutes after I sent the message, my phone rang. My face shone with happiness when I heard his voice. I'm so happy for you. I will come to see you after work, he said. All right, thanks. A month and some weeks later. Cole had been there to always drive me to the therapist's office. There were times I didn't want to go, but he never gave up on me. He showed me what it meant to love again and made me fall in love with him. It was like the scales fell off my eyes and made me see what I had been looking for all my life was him. After a month and some weeks later, I felt lighter and whole again. I've learned something, Cole, I said to him when he came to pick after my last therapy session. What's that? He asked. If Jayden had not broken my heart, I would not have met you, I said. Maybe he was a distraction from reaching my true north, which is you. Going to therapy has made you a sage, huh? It is just what I've realized. I am pained I realized late, but I'm happy I didn't realize too late, I said. I'm so sorry for everything, Cole. You are talking really mature. I like it, to be honest, he said. I have matured in my thinking, and I can now realize that all you have done for me is true love, I said. I have matured in my love for you too, Cole. In simpler words, I love you. Do you mean it? He asked with a serious tone. Yes, I've never been true about something like this in my life before. It is true. I love you, Cole, I said. And I would love to use the rest of my life to prove that to you every day. Wait, what are you saying? He asked. Will you marry me, Cole Smith? I asked, bringing out a ring from my pocket to show him. Daniel, he yelled, I am driving. Why are you doing this while I'm driving? He was smiling. What is your answer? I asked. His eyes were darting between me and the road. His smile was really broad when he said, Yes, I will marry you, Daniel Robinson. He yelled and his voice broke into tears. I smiled and kissed him on his cheeks. I was the happiest man alive when I put the ring on his finger. Yes, I screamed outside the window. He said yes. I could not contain the happiness, so I had to share. I could see the happiness of some passerby when I said so. Conclusion. Cole and I got married on a Friday because we had our first date on a Friday and our first kiss on a Friday. It was the greatest decision I had ever made. Even though I thought I would never find everlasting happiness after Jayden broke my heart, I found love when I thought I didn't need it. I have been happy ever since. The end. Have you been hurt so deeply by someone you thought you wouldn't find love anymore? Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to become part of our Rainbow Force. And stay wholesome.